episode of Making the Call. We are wrapping up our division previews for the entire month of August here. We'll be heading out west, and so we've got our token Seattle Seahawks fan, Alex, on the podcast with us to break down the NFC West, AFC West. We're also talking college football because I know week 0 is in the books, but we've got a full week 1 slate coming up. And so we have to have our college football expert, Austin, on the podcast. So the three of us are holding it down this week. I know I teased last week about some sort of Substack article about college football.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have time.
Yeah, so
I'm going to do something at some point. But, yeah, no, that flopped big time. Yeah.
But even though we don't have a college football article out there on the Making the Call Substack,
I said I might. I might.
You said you might, which, in defense of the Substack, we do have all of Rozey's redraft rankings for fantasy football. He dropped those like a thief in the night on Friday night. Alex and Rozey got done doing their Making the Call bets on Friday night, which was a great episode, by the way. Well done.
Not for winning bets, but yeah, it was fun.
It was a good listen.
Preseason doesn't count.
As soon as they got done, I just got all these notifications, wide receiver redraft rankings, running back, quarterback, tight end. And so they are all available for free on the Making the Call Substack. We've got a link to the Substack in the show notes of this week's episode. And you can go there and you can look at, I'm scrolling through his running backs right now. And I've got a draft. We were talking right before we hit record. I've got a fantasy draft on Wednesday that I'm currently preparing for. So, I'm on one of my screens. I'm going to have Rozey's rankings pulled up to kind of flip back and forth. So go check those out. This is the time. Go ahead.
I got beef with his receiver rankings, but we'll talk about those, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. What's your beef? CeeDee Lamb at 3 or what?
JJ, I don't know. JJ at 4.
Probably QB related.
Yeah, probably. I think he's got Sam Darnold thrown to him.
Hey, for us Sam Darnold truthers, that's ideal scenario. So
I haven't seen a single fantasy football rankings that has JJ at 1.
He's the best receiver in the league. I think it's stupid that he's not 1, but I guess maybe it's a little bit of my. No, I mean
the top two receivers last year were CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
so
maybe I'm just a JJ truther, but maybe it's just. I like his intangibles, whereas fantasy football measures tangibles. Maybe that's it.
But go check those out on the Substack. Football is here. We've got week 1 of college football coming up. We've got the NFL season kicking off a week after that. And we've got a lot of fun things planned for this upcoming football season. So you're going to want to be locked into all things Making the Call as we make our way through this beautiful, beautiful time of the year. All right, before we get into the division previews, let's start as we always do with our one big headline. Alex, why don't you start us off? What you got for us?
Was this not the greatest week 0 in recent memory? I mean, starting it off, the Ireland game is always awesome. Every time I watch it, I want to go to Ireland. Like the shots they have, the rain, the gloominess, the architecture, the golf courses, everything was awesome. And then to have that game come down to the wire, last kick, Georgia Tech sort of just surprising everybody. They got some fun players there. That was awesome. And then the New Mexico-Montana State game, you had a big comeback in the fourth quarter there.
That was crazy.
The SMU-Nevada game, Nevada almost pulled a huge upset, but then SMU woke up at the end. And unfortunately, the Hawaii game was blocked behind the pay-per-view wall. That sucked. But overall, just a great 5-star appetizer of a week 0. And I'm so ready for Thursday night when it all kicks off.
That Montana State game was
really fun.
I was sitting there thinking like, oh well, and I was like, oh, this is great, because it was like 31.
Had some dudes.
It was 31-14, and I was like, well, this is over. And then the great thing about college football is it ain't over until it's over. And then
with SMU
storming back. I mean, it was epic. Loved it.
There were. Yeah, there were good games on Saturday. I wish there was more games.
Oh, okay.
Like
So I don't
my
expect
big
too much.
complaint with week 0, because I'm not the biggest week 0 fan, is just like it just feels underwhelming. Like
It's always underwhelming, but at least it's back.
Dude,
yeah.
next
At least
year's
the games were good.
It's like the equivalent of
Ireland
the Hall of
game
Fame game.
is Iowa State, Kansas State.
Really,
That's exciting.
that'll be fun.
Farmers Bowl.
That'll be fun. So yeah, I wish that or you know what, like if you're gonna do 4 games, can we have a little more marquee schools playing? Like I know we had the Florida State game and it was crazy that they lost, but it was like even though like SMU Nevada was a good game, and I mean really all of them were good games. It's like I mean
Haynes King, another former A&M quarterback that found success elsewhere.
He looks good running the ball.
Tail
He-
is all this
he-
time.
He looked like Cam Newton.
I will say, Andrew, this was probably the lightest week 0 schedule they've had in a minute, because I think last year we got like 7 games. I think it's just this year we have a lot of Thursday games and Friday games. It's more like front loaded for week 1. I think that's what they did.
See, yeah, I feel like week 0, that Saturday, it kind of needs to be like March Madness in the sense that like from 11 a.m. Central Time until you go to bed, or even past when you go to bed because of
Have
the
at least
Hawaii
one
game,
game on.
there needs to be football on.
Yeah.
Like there doesn't need to be gaps. Just if I turn on the TV, I need to see football. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it was still fun. It was still fun.
Fair.
Shout out Georgia Tech. Quite the win.
Their running back's a beast.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. Austin, what's yours?
Mine was going to be week 0, but then Alex took it. So I don't know. My one big headline, I'm finally enjoying home
Oasis is
ownership.
back.
Oasis is back. I don't know. It's funny because we, sometimes, we're giving each other crap in the group text, and sometimes we're talking about serious / dad stuff. And today was a dad stuff thing, as we talked about. I think the point of the story today was just do it yourself. Like electrical work isn't that hard. Y'all were talking about sprinkler system. I mean, it's the most dad chat we've gotten in a while. But being able to enjoy week 0 on my back porch with my mounted TV with a brisket on the smoker that took 16 and a half hours, by the way. That puppy was insane.
Long shift.
It like would not move. I don't know. So like home ownership.
good,
How
right?
was it? How was it? Can
Was
you
it worth
give a
it?
review?
It was delicious.
Okay.
The fat rendered perfectly. And I honestly think brisket leftovers are better if you cook it right. I don't know. This one, like the fat reheated, like the lean stuff is better on day 1, but the I think the fatty stuff is better day 2.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I bought a house and then the AC broke and we had to pay a plumber a whole bunch of money. And so I'm done with that. So now it's finally starting to kick in that, this is actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
Then I looked at my amortization chart and I only gained $200 of equity on it. My first payment. So
don't even look at that in the first the first 3 or 4 years.
Hey, but it's $200 more equity than I built in the last 5 rentals that I've been in. So that's
yeah.
right. So
yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
I
did very dad things this past week with throwing a kid's birthday party, mowing the yard, cooking out, fixing electrical outlets. I mean, I was the ultimate mid dad this past week. So no big headlines for me.
You gonna have the setup ready for Saturday?
Oh yeah, my porch furniture came in.
Good.
Nice.
I'm ready.
Nice.
I gotta figure out. I'll probably do ribs on Saturday.
Nice.
Or wings. Do
Man,
ribs and wings.
yeah, when you sent the picture of you outside with your outdoor TV with the brisket on the smoker, and I was just like, God, I've seen what you've done for others. Because I have the outdoor TV, which is awesome. I have we moved in end of March, so I haven't, and I got the outdoor TV I think early May, so I haven't had a ton of opportunities to kind of bust it out because it's been so hot. So I'm looking forward to spending a few fall afternoons out there. Yeah, I'm excited.
Forget hot girl summer. It's white boy fall. on the
I know, dude.
on the back porch.
Kicking it off. Oasis. Football's back now.
Oasis. I got Creed tickets in November. Oh yeah.
Creed.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
This fall is gonna be something else. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, and I hit like the 5-year anniversary at my job, and so you get to like pick out like there's like a few different gifts you can choose, and I got one of those like propane like heaters. Like
You
the
didn't
big,
get the
like,
barrel smoker?
No, I didn't. I saw some bad reviews on
All right.
apparently like the little latch door isn't perfectly sealed, and so a lot of heat comes out through that, and so I still want to get a smoker, but I decided if I'm going to get a smoker, even if I have to pay for it, I want it to be, higher quality.
So don't waste your time with anything other than a pellet grill.
Okay.
Because some people love to work at it and like go out and stoke the fire and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I put that brisket on at midnight and I didn't check it until I didn't have to wrap it until 9 a.m. I didn't have to get out of bed. I didn't have to get out of bed. It was awesome. That's the beauty of it. So yeah, you can get out because if you don't have a pellet smoker, you have to go out and you have to stoke the fire at 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. No.
Get the pellet. Get the pellet.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got like one of those big, tall, like propane heaters that you see at like restaurants,
Yes.
And I'm just imagining like Saturday night, like late November, and it's like a little chilly. Fire that bad boy up, sit out there and watch like the marquee college football game.
Election night, Maction action. Can't wait.
Election night and Maction. Yes. Oh man, that was funny.
Man.
All right. My one big headline is CeeDee Lamb got paid, got his new contract. $34 million a year. The exact numbers was 4 years, $136 million extension, $100 million guaranteed. He got a $38 million signing bonus, which is the largest ever given to a wide receiver. He's the second highest paid non-QB in NFL history at $34 million a year, behind only Justin Jefferson at $35 million a year. I'm happy for him. We could either turn this into a conversation about Jerry Jones waiting too long and just getting dog walked in these negotiations. It's just a tale as old as time. Or we could celebrate the fact that, one of the best receivers in the game finally got what was due. And now we're set for a full season of CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. So I'm not very interested in the Cowboys this year, but I am interested in watching CeeDee Lamb score touchdowns. So hard not to be you can't be too upset with the news that transpired today.
Yeah, I don't think I'm upset with the fact. Like, I think for market value, it's fair for CD, but the fact that it could have been done earlier is like the frustrating point for me. So like, it could have been cheaper, but I'd rather get him. It's not like we overpaid, I don't think, but
no,
we overpaid in comparison to what we would have paid. But oh well. At least we got our guy, and the offense isn't going to be just terrible this year. So,
yeah, and
next guy to get paid. Let's go.
Yeah, there was a report Monday night that Dalvin Cook is flying to Dallas to visit with the Cowboys, and I forget who it was, so I apologize. But I saw a tweet that was like, the Cowboys are just assembling an affinity gauntlet of washed-up running backs who no longer have the juice. Like, they get Ezekiel Elliott, they're going to get Dalvin Cook. Like, let's see who else we can bring in here that is just absolutely washed.
Marshawn Lynch.
Maurice Jones-Drew. Let's get him.
Who do you think they pay next? Parsons or Dak? Who's
Parsons.
next? Oh, wow.
I had thought that we weren't going to get a Dak deal done. I still don't think a Dak deal is getting done until next summer. And they're going to get absolutely taken to the cleaner.
Can they even afford all three?
No.
Okay.
No, they can. They can.
Well, they can't afford all three, and then just the rest of the roster is going to suck.
These NFL teams can afford whatever they want to afford. It's a matter of if they're willing to. And
we got to have a crafty GM, and
we don't have one.
Yeah.
Did y'all see those quotes from
See now,
Jerry
old man.
Jones.
Oh yeah, they were insane. Hey Emma, will you shut that, please?
He basically said that no one could do the job better than him, and that's why he doesn't let anyone else be GM because he doesn't think anyone could do it as good as he can.
Fun.
Yeah. I will remind the listeners because this came up in our group text that the Cowboys have signed 2 notable free agents, like true free agents from another team since 2000.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Brandon Carr at 5 years, 50 million, and Terrell Owens at 3 years. Was it 27 million?
3 for 25.
3 for 25. Dang it! I was
T.O. was in 2006. Carr was in 2012.
I was pretty close, wasn't I?
You're pretty close.
Man, for having never seen it before.
Yeah. So 2 notable free agent signings in 24 years and 0 in the last 12. So I don't know why he thinks that he's the only one who could do this GM job because he really doesn't do a whole lot. He doesn't go out and sign free agents.
Or make aggressive trades.
Or, sign guys ahead of time, which is literally what every other team does. But it's not about him. Today is about CeeDee Lamb. Congrats to him. Well deserved. One of the most exciting players in the NFL.
Get your chicken.
All right. What'd you say?
Marshawn says, take care of your chicken.
Take care of your chicken.
Take care of your chicken.
There you go. All right. Let's go out west, gentlemen. We'll start with the AFC. Kansas City won the division 11-6. They also won the Super Bowl, which I think is more important. Houston Astros fans might think the division is more important than, the championship, but I would beg to differ. Kansas City did win both. Las Vegas Raiders came in at 8-9, didn't make the playoffs. Denver was also 8-9, didn't make the playoffs. And then the Chargers, notably with an injury to Justin Herbert, were 5-12, rounding out that division. We'll start with the Chiefs. Instead of what I've done in weeks past is I've run through kind of all the notable changes for each team, and then we get into the questions. I kind of want to do notable changes for the Chiefs, and then let's talk about the Chiefs and kind of like piece it like that. So for the Chiefs, they added wide receiver Marquise Brown.
Love it.
They also added a punter, and you might say, well, why is that notable? It's Matt Araiza, who was punt god in college and was just unbelievable. Was out of the league because of lawsuits, false allegations about sexual assault. We're not going to get into that, but his name was completely cleared in court.
His career was erased from the dead.
There you go. All right.
Hey.
Look at this.
So they did add him, and I do think it's notable because he could be legitimately the best punter in the NFL in year one. They did lose via trade L'Jarius Sneed, the cornerback. They also lost linebacker Willie Gay, and then they drafted wide receiver Xavier Worthy. Come on, Austin. I expect better from you.
Sorry, I had something in my throat. I did.
Yeah, I bet.
It was a hiccup.
So with the Chiefs, it seems like they're preparing for a lengthy suspension.
Clip that. Ooh.
For Rashee Rice. My question for y'all is,
wait,
does that even matter as far as
they're expecting that? Because I haven't seen anything on that front. I felt
there's been a lot. I mean, they went out and they signed Juju Smith-Schuster today on Monday.
I didn't really.
I don't know if you've seen
that.
So
okay, they got Marquise Brown
because he had the driving incident and then he also had a club incident, right?
He has
That's a new product, baby.
He had 3 incidents this past off season or something.
In Dallas. Woo.
Let me see here. I'm trying to find.
With that many indictments, he should be.
Who was the player? Who was the player who recently just got suspended 5 games?
Zay Jones.
And he didn't have nearly the criminal record that Rashee Rice has. Rashee Rice is dealing with multiple felonies.
Suspension.
You think 10 games?
8 games.
I think it's in that 8 to 10 range. He's facing 6 counts of that's from April. So yeah. I think they're prepared to at least not have him for half the year. They just signed Juju Smith-Schuster. They drafted Xavier Worthy.
Who's going to be stupid this year?
Like
And then
good.
you got
Yeah,
Marquise
like
Brown
stupid
on the
good.
other
Yeah,
side.
he's going to be stupid.
Forget about him.
They bring in Hollywood Brown. They still have Travis Kelce. So
Oh yeah, that guy.
again, my question is, does losing Rashee Rice, because Rashee Rice was a good rookie. He had a good rookie season, especially as the season progressed.
Mhm.
Does it even matter in terms of what you think of the Kansas City
Yep.
Chiefs this season?
Well, let me ask you one question. Who's the starting quarterback?
Oh,
Alex Smith.
All right, we're good. No, but yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he'll find somebody. Someone will fill in, like Juju's coming. Maybe some no-name practice squad guy gets a chance.
He's going to make Juju Smith-Schuster look like freaking Jerry Rice.
And, Mr. Reliable Travis Kelce, he's
Mhm.
probably going to eat this first half, especially if he's suspended or Rashee Rice is suspended for half the season.
I mean, Xavier Worthy is pro ready right now, in my opinion.
That too.
The dude's going to
Tyreek
be
Hill
a
2.0 right there.
freaking stud.
And he's
So
taller than Tyreek Hill. He's like 6'1".
yeah, he can get up and get it. So yeah, no, Rashid is just going to be a nice piece later, but I mean, he might be their third option by the time he comes back, maybe fourth.
Okay, that might be a little. I think when he comes back, he's immediately at least the number 2 option. Just 'cause
Really?
he's tall. He's a different type of receiver compared to
Kelsey.
Worthy and Brown.
Yeah, but I mean, you could find vintage Hollywood Brown,
He could, but
or I mean, 10 games Worthy could be insane. So I don't know.
but I don't know, man. I also think like with the Chiefs, it's like I almost don't even care what they do in the regular season. Like to me, if they win
Make it
11 games or 12 games or 13 games, I'm not picking against them in January, like it, to me, you're just splitting hairs. And so even if they like start slow this season from a record standpoint, even if, I still think they're going to win this division, shocker. But even if they're like a 3 or a 4 seed in the AFC, like, so what? Like you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, like who cares?
Mhm.
And I think this team, specifically like guys like Travis Kelce, like some of the veterans, and for sure Mahomes, even he's not, I guess he's a veteran, but he's still obviously in his prime.
both.
They're so laser focused on three-peat.
On the beginning of his prime too.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
28.
Like they're so focused on being the first team to win 3 straight Super Bowls that their mission weeks 1 through 18 is just going to be get to the playoffs as healthy as we can. Like, let's not lose anyone to major injuries. Let's not push ourselves in week 4. Like, let's get to the postseason and then let's go win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
So I don't know. The Chiefs almost feel like a boring topic at this point because it's like, all right, well, we'll see them in the AFC Championship game against someone, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Talk.
The Raiders. So they hired interim head coach Antonio Pierce to be their permanent head coach. They also hired Tom Telesco as their GM and Luke Getsy as their offensive coordinator. They also added defensive tackle Christian Wilkins and quarterback Gardner Minshew, who they already named to be the starter in week 1 over Aiden O'Connell. They lost running back Josh Jacobs in free agency, and they drafted tight end Brock Bowers in the first round.
That
With
felt
the
like
Raiders.
a weird pick, by the way.
Brock Bowers a beast, though.
Yeah, no, he's a beast, but it's like they took tight end first round last year too. I don't know.
Yeah, the guy's more of a blocking tight end, though.
Yeah,
Michael Mayer. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the Raiders, I don't know where y'all are at in Austin. I'll start with you. Like I'm of two minds. Like part of me thinks they're going to be atrocious this season and win like 2 or 3 games. But part of me also thinks that they could be kind of scrappy and like one of those teams you don't want to play, and they rattle off 7 or 8, maybe even 9.
Yeah, I think, as long as you've got, because they've got decent like, I mean, you have Devontae Adams, so it's not like their offense is going to be like, I mean, I think he's going to be able to create and make some plays, but like, this isn't, I mean, you saw what they did under Antonio Pierce last year after the Daniels firing. Like, I just feel like, or McDaniels firing, they're going to be scrappy, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a solid, like, 7-win team. Oh, I have a visitor.
Alex, what do you think about the Raiders?
She said she's silly.
I mean, their quarterback is the scrappiest dude in the NFL. Of course, they're going to be scrappy. You got Adams. My only question with them is who's going to be their starting running back? I think that's
Zamir White.
biggest. Yeah,
That's
probably the biggest question mark on this team.
Him or Alexander Madison?
Can you get
so Zamir White
average production out of that?
I have no idea how good their line is.
Well, they have 2 good blocking tight ends now.
I just think their culture I mean, I think they were worse last year, and they were able to rattle off a couple of wins. I think it's going to be kind of the same story.
I think what I want to see from them is like, and so apparently you've seen this a lot in practice, and like this is kind of the expectation, but I want them to just pound 12 personnel, like throw both tight ends out there for 70% of the snaps. Like I want to see Bowers and Mayer out there.
I formation. Let's go.
Yeah. Good old I formation with some play action down the field to Devontae Adams. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's go.
Like that's kind of what I want their brand of football to be.
Like your Iowa and NCAA. Let's do it.
Hopefully a little more enjoyable to watch than that.
I think the offense is going to be Iowa caliber, but maybe a little better.
It might be. It might be. Yeah, I'm a little intrigued. Like, to me, the Raiders are and maybe it's just like the Gardner Minshew effect, but they're so much more interesting than some of these other middle of the pack teams in the AFC, like Pittsburgh or teams like that, where it's just like, or even like Denver in the same division. It's like, I'm so much more interested in kind of seeing what this Antonio Pierce thing looks like now that he's actually the head coach.
You think that the Raiders are more intriguing than Denver?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about Denver in a second.
Let's talk about them now.
I'm on the Kool-Aid.
Get it?
So they added wide receiver Josh Reynolds. They also added safety Brandon Jones. They lost wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. They traded him to Cleveland. They also cut quarterback Russell Wilson, and they lost safety Justin Simmons. And then they drafted quarterback Bo Nix. So
Big Bo.
I guess I'll start with Austin again based on what he just said. Are you buying into the Bo Nix hype in Denver?
I mean, did any quarterback have a better preseason out of maybe outside of Caleb Williams than Bo Nix?
You should know that Trey Lance did lead preseason in passing yards and rushing yards. So
I'm talking about real quarterbacks,
and probably picks.
And picks. I don't know. I just really like what I've seen with him so far, and I think Sean Payton's gonna be able to develop him. And I mean, I don't know. I liked him in college. He was really good at Oregon the last year. I felt like he was in college for freaking ever. But I mean, I enjoyed watching him.
It's because he was.
Yeah. Was it like 6 years?
There's a reason it felt like that. It's because it was true.
Yeah, I mean, is he the oldest rookie this year?
He's 24.
Yeah, he's like, but he's more
freshman
athletic.
Year was 2017.
I think Stetson Bennett was the
which
only
freshman year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drinking the Bo Nix Kool-Aid though, so I'm very intrigued by the Broncos this year. Like, I'm not saying they're gonna go like blow it out of the box, but like, don't be surprised if they're in contention for wild card at the end of the season.
Oh, come on, man,
dude! I'm in.
Might have an easy schedule.
Yeah, they've got easy schedule, dude.
They had a confident defense last year.
Yeah, the defense. I think if Bo Nix takes a step,
Tim Patrick is back.
Patrick is being cut or traded.
Yeah.
To who?
They just want to move him.
They want to move
Well, that's
him.
stupid.
So their starting receiving core is Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, and Josh Reynolds, and then they've got some
Definitely
combination of
better than Josh
Javante
Reynolds.
Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, Samaje P. Ryan, and Audric Estime.
P. Ryan's getting cut.
That's a very
That's a
very poor.
mess.
And
It's
then
a
Greg Dulcich.
I
as
don't
tight end.
understand.
it's a
trading
it's a
Patrick.
boot it's a booty offense, but I like Cortland.
It's a booty offense that might be a wild card team apparently.
Because the defense is decent.
No, you got to actually be a
a
good
good
team to be a
defense-
wild card team in the AFC.
And a good defense like only lasts you for so long before they start letting up because the
Like
offense
the
is so
Cowboys.
bad.
Like the Cowboys.
Well,
They
no,
started
not
letting
even that. It's like an effort thing. Like, do you remember 2 years ago when the Broncos defense was like historic? But then that was when like Nate Hackett was the head coach in Denver, and like the
It
offense was an absolute train wreck. And
it
so
was
you got
so
to like
bad.
week
Awesome.
7, and the defense was like, "Nah, screw this. Like, why? I'm not trying anymore." Like, and then they were terrible.
I'm just intrigued by Bo Nix. I'm sipping all the Kool-Aid on him. I think he's electric. I think he's fun to watch. I think he could be the guy. So
Yeah, no.
Alex, are you buying into the hype?
I think I'm in the middle between you and Austin. I don't think I'm down on them where I think they're going to win like 4 or 5 games, but 8 to 7 wins seems about right. Maybe
give me-
9 is the ceiling.
What do you guys
Give me-
think their over under win total is?
7.5. I'm just guessing too. I didn't look.
Austin, what's your guess?
yeah, 7.5. I was about to say 6.5, but I think 7.5 is a good line.
This can't be right. Right?
Smash the over.
Hold on. I need to double
Sounds like
check
it's too
this.
high.
Oh, this is division wins. Okay, division wins. I saw
so
2.5 and I was like, that can't be right.
I like that, ain't it?
I'm
that
going over
can't
on
be
2.5.
Okay. Shoot, hold on. Let me find it.
Let's play a game called Can I Get There Quicker Than Andrew?
You probably can. I'm not finding it. Are you gonna get there?
No.
Here it is, 5.5.
Great podcast.
Oh, over.
5.5?
Over.
That's
5.5.
low.
There's juice on the over, so it's minus 180 to the over and plus 135 to the under.
Yeah, 'cause that's just a low number.
See, I mean,
'Cause I guess if we pivot to the Chargers, I think the Chargers are going to suck.
really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, make the case.
I just don't.
You're out on Jim Harbaugh, aren't you?
It's not even that. It's Justin Herbert and who else? Like I guess Joey Bosa, cool. Who's even their star receiver right now? Keenan Allen is gone. Mike
It is
Wallace?
Josh Palmer and Lad McConkey, the rookie.
They
Yeah, that's
signed
cool.
the titanium ACL tandem of J.K. Dobbins and Gus
Yeah,
Edwards.
I don't see the production or the playmaking or just the star appeal outside of Justin Herbert. It's all on his shoulders, and he's coming off an injury-plagued season. Like that's just not a recipe for success, in my opinion.
But Jim Harbaugh wins wherever he goes.
It takes a couple years though. Like historically, his first year is usually his worst year.
Is that true?
What's their win total?
Ooh. All right, let's see
Probably
if
like 8.5
hold on.
because of Herbert.
Because they went 5-12 last year.
They did. It is
Also, I think Josh Palmer is a
8.5. Good job, Alex. 8.5.
Oh, former
Don't
Seattle
s-
tight end Will Disley. He's their
that's
top.
cool.
He's their top tight end option.
Oh boy, that's gonna work out.
Here's the thing, though. They have a last place schedule.
Yeah,
It matters.
but they still got to play the Chiefs twice.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
out of
That's not
17
gonna
games,
change.
yeah.
They also get to play. So they get matched
Apparently,
up with
Denver free wins too. So
So they get to play the Patriots in week 17.
Closer game than you
The
think.
schedule is booty.
JJ
They get
McCarthy
to play.
looks good.
They get to play the Panthers in week 2.
Bryce Young's coming back.
They get to play the Steelers in week 3.
Okay, that's a win.
Those are. It's at Pittsburgh though.
That's okay. It's in
Yeah.
September.
Mhm.
Also, you think a Jim Harbaugh team is going to be worried about the elements?
No.
Did you see the elevator thing, Austin?
I knew that Justin Herbert was stuck. That's all I know.
That's the elevator thing was great.
What happened with the elevator thing? I just know that a couple players were stuck.
They were stuck for like 2 hours, and Jim Harbaugh's quotes was, "Here we go. That's a shared experience that brought them closer together. I just missed it being on that elevator. It was like, wish I could have been there with those guys." But Justin Herbert, his hair was a little wet, but his shirt was completely dry. Harbaugh said that was another thing that blew me away. The guy is just a beast. You get in those situations, and it's a test of wills. I was proud of each of the guys and the 2 women that were on that elevator. That's a win. You feel good about yourself. You were challenged. It was a test of will, and you pulled it down or pulled it in. It was a camaraderie amongst that group that is even stronger than it was before.
Is that a satire or is that actual?
This
quote?
is true.
Him,
This is true. Harbaugh even used his family motto to describe the situation. Who's got it better than those guys that were on that elevator?
Who's got it better?
A lot of it.
I don't know how you can hear that, Alex, and be fading the Chargers. It couldn't be me, man.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
I think they clear the 8.5 wins. I think they do.
I think it's 8 or 9.
I could see them getting to 10. Really. Like you look, their schedule, man, is booty cheeks. Like it is not good.
I'm in between you and Alex. I think we're gonna tier them at King of Mid when we get around to it. That's what I think. So
Well, all right, we'll see. So before we get into that, well, let me actually say, because I didn't mention this. So the Chargers, they overhauled, their entire kind of front office, brought in Jim Harbaugh, brought in Joe Hortiz as the GM. Jesse Mentor, who was the DC at Michigan, is now the DC for the Chargers. Brought in Greg Roman to run the offense. Brought in the Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. I mean, they just stay within the Harbaugh family. They come from Baltimore to L.A.
No, they come from the hospital to L.A.
The Baltimore County Hospital, yeah.
Yes. L.A. County.
And wide receiver DJ Chark and tight end Will Dissly. They did lose Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, and Corey Lindsley, the center. And they drafted tackle Joe Alt and wide receiver Ladd McConkey. So
might be the greatest rookie name, Ladd McConkey.
It's a good name, man.
That's like a Key and Peele name right there.
Yeah.
Ladd McConkey. The U.
Yeah. All right. So fantasy storyline you're most interested in, Alex.
I put down is Marquise Brown a sneaky flex option in your drafts? Because I think he's going to be available there probably in the 9, 10-ish type of round. But I think you pick someone up or pick him up and he could be like a 12 to 14 point type of guy for you and pop off every once in a while when he catches like 2 touchdowns in a game or something,
I think I like it. I like
it might not be as sneaky now if Rice gets suspended. That might.
No. And I like, one of the things I'm always in support of with fantasy football is trying to just get pieces of good offenses. So it's like take a flyer on Hollywood Brown. But I do think it's worth noting, Alex, where did Hollywood Brown go to school? He
went to school with Baker Mayfield at OU. And
okay. All right. Worth noting there.
Homer.
All right, Austin. Pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah. I'm about to draft A&M later in this. So
Gus Johnson just screaming his name.
Austin, what's your fantasy storyline?
I know we talked about how like the Raiders are going to be like super scrappy. I'm avoiding Devontae Adams like the plague in my redraft leagues.
Why?
neither quarterbacks look great in preseason.
Yeah, but he's gonna throw it up. You know, Gardner's at least gonna throw it up.
Yeah, I mean, so like there's gonna be a game where like Devontae has 2 touchdowns, but I also see a whole lot of like one because like who else are they gonna throw the ball to? It's gonna be like 1 catch for 12 yards, 2 catch for 22 yards.
Okay, let me make the case for Devontae Adams. Who else are they going to throw to?
My argument is they're not going to really be able to throw it all, but
I don't know, man. I think the case for Devontae Adams is that he's going to be pissed if he's not getting targets, and he's going to let everyone know that he's not happy.
He was pissed last year, and like he still had
games.
Good.
Was he?
I had him. I was very frustrated with him all season.
Hold on. I need to pull up his.
Who
was a quarterback there last year?
It was.
Okay, he was still the wide receiver 11 in half PPR and 10 in PPR. He was a wide receiver. He was a wide receiver 1.
I was frustrated with him, but I think maybe I'm remembering my early season frustrations.
So he had some dud games in like the middle of the season. Some single digits, but he also had he was still good. I wouldn't be avoiding him like the plague, but it's your take.
I'm out. Okay. I just think, he's 31 now.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Kyrie's 32, man.
What's 32?
Kyrie.
Oh, well, different sport.
Nah.
I don't know, man. I just recently turned 27, so now I'm officially in my my late 20s. Yes. And I gotta say, man, 31 does not seem that far away. It's not that old.
It sucks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I
forgot you just turned 27. Yeah.
That's right.
Baby.
So I'm 5 months older than Becca. But every time, like basically from the time whenever my birthday is in July.
How are you all in the same grade?
What do you mean?
You're 5 months older than Becca?
Yeah, that's not.
Well, no, but I'm saying like, wouldn't she have been in a different grade in school than you?
No. She was really young for her grade, but I think she should have been a year younger, but she wasn't. But anyways, from like the time when I have my birthday in July to hers in December, she just starts saying that she's however old I am. She's just like, she just got it in her brain because like for half the year we're the same age and half the year we're not. So like we've been joking like, oh yeah, you're 27 too. Cause she'll like tell people like, she'll be like, oh yeah, I'm 27. You're like, actually you're still 26. You haven't turned 27 yet.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Robbing the cradle, right. Andrew.
Goodness.
And Becca's robbing the grave.
Oh man. All right. On that note, so my fantasy storyline, Xavier Worthy, I am like to the moon on him. Like I think he's leading the Chiefs in all major receiving categories outside of maybe receiving touchdowns. Like in terms of fantasy, go get him because Rashee Rice, we just talked about, likely going to be suspended for a good portion of the year. I think Travis Kelce could give a flip about how his regular season production is. He just wants to win another Super Bowl. So I think Mahomes is going to be trying to establish connections with the other guys. And I see Worthy leading that group. So
I am doing a keg stand of Xavier Worthy Kool-Aid. That's how much that is how in on that dude I am. I'm pumped that I got him in our Dynasty League. And I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
Alex,
where are you at on the Xavier Worthy hype?
He's really, really good. The one thing he doesn't excel at is at the 1 yard line. He just can't get in on that little screen pass. We saw it in the OU game. Just can't do that. If he can put that in his game, he's going to be just sky's the limit. But
fastest guy in the field. He'll be
fastest guy in the field, but not great in short yardages. We'll just say that.
Well, he'll just catch bombs then, I guess.
Yeah. Catch bombs. Don't think he's going to run anybody over, though.
That's okay.
Nah, he's not.
They said the same thing about Tyreek Hill, and he's carved himself out a nice career.
He just outran everybody. So
yeah, exactly. All right. Favorite futures bet. So let me just kind of continue the conversation. Xavier Worthy props, just take any of them. over 750.5 receiving yards, minus 110, over 4.5 receiving touchdowns, even money on that. Yeah. Take it all.
Andrew, you never go like with value picks on these. You go for surefire things.
You haven't been listening, good sir.
I haven't been.
Yeah. My pick, hold on. My pick last week.
Every time I'm on, which is like once every couple months.
I did, let's see. Where is it here?
Every time that I've been on, Andrew has not gone with value picks.
I did for the NFC North, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen, and Cole Kmet, each with 5+ receiving touchdowns at 17-1.
There you go.
So I give a variety to the listeners. All right, Austin? Goodness.
There you go. You try and make them poor with your big ones, and then you come back and let them get their money back with some surefire ones. It's good.
I don't give the long shots unless I think there's a good chance.
There you go.
Man of the people. What's yours, Austin? Criticizing bets over here.
I like Chiefs to score a passing touchdown in every game for plus 400. Mahomes has done that twice in his career. And like I said, I'm drinking the Xavier Worthy Kool-Aid. And so each season where he hasn't done it, he's only done it one game. Like he's thrown touchdowns as 16 of the 17. And I think his receiving core got better. So I like the plus 400 passing touchdown. Probably.
That's a stupid bet.
Idiot.
They're not going to be trying in the regular season. There's no way it hits.
No way.
My bet's
I'll be your book. If you want to book that with me, I'll give you 4-1 odds. Sure. Yeah.
You're not going to like mine.
All right. What's yours?
I picked the Chiefs to be the last undefeated team in the NFL at plus 800. Because we got a front-loaded schedule here. Ravens,
Baltimore, week 1.
Ravens, Bengals. Okay, you open up there 2-0, and you got Falcons, Chargers, Saints before you play the Niners. That's 5-0, and it's the Niners. We'll get to the Niners, but I think they're having a down year too. That's 6-0. You got Raiders, 7-0. Bucks, sorry Baker, 8-0. Ooh, Broncos, 9-0.
All you're doing is just reading their schedule and just counting.
Bills, I think they lose to the Bills. November 17th, mark it down, their first loss to the Bills.
They're not losing.
Because it's in Buffalo.
Because the Bills will be
Buffalo.
The Bills they'll be 10-0, and then they have Carolina, Las Vegas, Los Angeles. So then they'll be 13-0, right? And then
they're going to start 0-1.
They didn't win a single preseason game.
They're home versus Baltimore. They're home versus Cincinnati. I could see it being 5-0 going to at San Francisco.
They started last year 0-1 against Detroit to kick off the season.
They got to right that wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think they're worried about that at all. They just won the Super Bowl.
I think they're going to be like 11-7, 12-6, or 11. Sorry, not 11-7, 11-6.
Plus 800 though.
12-5.
Plus 800. Yeah. That's
way to create some value for the listeners.
That's a better bet than Austin's. So I'll give you that.
Hey, we're the only two people to go plus odds on anything because we're not chicken.
All right. Team tiers. Yours was plus 400. Like, what are you talking? Like, yours was not some
4-1.
Not
for a bet that's not going to happen.
Parlay it with Alex, and we'll see what.
Alex, all right, team tiers. Chiefs. Can we just say like Super Bowl favorite?
Super Bowl defending champions. They're they have the belt. Yeah.
Super Bowl or bust.
Have the belt.
Have the belt.
Have the belt.
All right. Has the belt.
Good,
let's see. The Raiders are next.
Scrappy. And
Scrappy.
Fun and scrappy. Like
scrappy mid. Scrappy
defense.
I like scrappy.
Energetic head coach.
Chargers. We might disagree. I want to put them as wild card hopeful.
Yeah, I think it's mid.
Yeah, it's mid.
It's mid, but they could. I guess they could make like some move at the deadline.
Could you do like mid with upside?
Yeah, it's sure.
Hopeful
mid plus Harbaugh.
Mid plus Harbaugh
because he comes with the upside.
Football guy.
Although I think Alex is a little down on the Chargers because he has some like unresolved feelings against Harbaugh when he was a division rival for San Francisco.
Yeah, but we whooped on Harbaugh. It was when Shanahan came in that things changed.
Debatable.
Mm.
All right, and then the Broncos.
Unbelievable.
I don't even know.
Mitty
Question
Middleton.
Bo Nix. Just put Bo Nix.
Just put Bo Nix. It's up and down.
Yeah, okay. Prediction for division order. Do we all have the Chiefs? I hope.
Yeah, Chiefs. Dude, this is actually.
I want to put Chargers second. That's my vote.
I'm going to put Broncos second.
No, I think. Shoot.
We're going to have to call Trent, aren't we?
Are you going to do Raiders?
Because you're going to put Raiders second, and then we're going to have to call Trent.
I'll put Raiders, call Trent for the pod.
Call Trent.
He's not going to answer though.
I love getting Monday night phone calls from Andrew.
You pick up quick.
I do.
I don't know about Trent. Minus 200 is an answer.
Boston.
Oh,
Boston.
he said awesome.
No, he said Boston. We're in the AFC West. Who's coming in second?
Boston.
AFC West.
Broncos.
We have the Chiefs first.
Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, and
Chargers.
ew. Can they all come in last?
See?
Three-way tie.
Toughie.
Who's it between?
Well, I voted Chargers. Austin voted Broncos, and Alex voted Raiders.
Yeah, that's about right. I'll go. Shoot.
Bo Nix, baby. He can't hear me, but
No, he can't.
Give me the Raiders, I guess.
The Raiders.
Hey.
Minshew.
Gardner Minshew. All right.
I
Thanks.
believe.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
that means we're putting the Chargers in last.
Well, hold on. We got to get Alex's vote here.
Yeah. Stick him in dead last.
Oh my God,
Send this to Harbaugh. Put it on the bulletin board.
man.
Andrews thinks that they're going to get 10 wins, and Alex puts them in last.
You'll see.
That's a drug division order right there.
You'll see.
Raiders.
All right. NFC North. Last year standings.
When Chargers second.
Hey, NFC West, buddy.
NFC West. Thank you. Whoever made this outline.
You get
Wow.
plus odds for if Andrew types up the outline correctly.
Give you like 30-1 odds if Austin fills out his part of the outline before an hour before the podcast.
Yep.
No way.
Yep. I think I've done
This
that
happened last week.
once in like 5 years.
This happened last week. Trent made a comment to me about like not being prepared, and I just fired back immediately. And
Yeah.
How
be
many times
careful.
has Trent gone into a podcast without reading the outline?
I'm not singling out Trent because I think
It's most of us.
yeah.
Yeah, when you said sorry, I'm so late on the outline, I'm like, yeah, I haven't even thought about the podcast tonight.
Although I think I don't know. I feel like Trent probably like
Trent's the best off the cuff NFL guy.
that's what I was trying to figure out how to say. Like he doesn't need an outline. It's all up here. You know, he just rolls up and
Big brain.
although
time
it did
for
just
Trent.
take him like 4 minutes to pick who's going to get second in the AFC West. So maybe not.
It's a difficult decision.
It is. Yeah. All right. So NFC West, the Niners came in first at 12-5. The Rams came in second. They also made the playoffs at 10-7. Alex's Seahawks were at 9-8. Arizona was at 4-13. So with the Niners, they added defensive tackle Malik Collins and edge rusher Leonard Floyd. They lost edge Randy Gregory, defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw, and edge Chase Young. And then they also drafted wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. Other things to note, Brandon Ayuk wants to get traded. It has been one of the most drawn out stories of the offseason. There's like a deal in place with Pittsburgh. He wants to go to Pittsburgh. He's happy with the new contract, and you just need San Francisco to agree to it. So there's a lot of uncertainty there. I also saw a report today that Trent Williams supposedly is going to hold out unless his contract is reworked, placing his week 1 availability in doubt. And there are lots of stats about how bad Brock Purdy is when Trent Williams is not his starting left tackle. I say all that to say, someone make the case for why the 49ers won't be the most disappointing team in the NFL relative to expectations.
Well, I'm not making that case. Austin?
I don't know. Brock Purdy's so up in the air. I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm way down on
So
him.
we're all down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Man,
He hasn't looked good in
they've
the
still got the
preseason.
playmakers to do it, but just the quarterback question mark and the Trent Williams. I mean, those are two huge. Like,
They're
I just
losing
don't know. I just don't know.
playmakers left and right, though. The Trent Williams thing is a major thing up in the air. He will hold out for the whole year, too. He is stubborn. He will not budge.
Mm-hmm.
And Kittle's probably, I mean, he's getting older. He's already looked like he sort of lost a step last year. He was still awesome.
He had
as
3
tight ends
touchdown
go.
game last year. But
Yeah, he was still awesome as tight ends go, but compared to prime Kittle, he is no longer in his prime. And 1 year older, 1 more year wear and tear. Brock Purdy throwing hospital balls. Like,
Hey,
I don't know.
got to bring up Kittle in that receiver documentary, though. He was easily the easiest person to root for in that thing, I think. I love that.
I did not watch a second of it.
Oh, it was awesome. It was fun.
Was it?
It wasn't as good as quarterback, in my opinion, but it was still fun. Like, George Kittle was just being George Kittle, and so that was fun to watch because, you know,
I
he's a
didn't
fun
even
guy.
watch quarterbacks, to be honest.
Dude.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, with the Niners, man, it's like they've gotten so close for 5 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't been able to get over the hump.
Modern day Bills.
The hump is
And-
named Patrick Mahomes.
Pretty much. Like, and I do think that kind of wears on your like psyche after a while, where you just start to question, like, man, are we ever going to get there?
Nope.
And let's say they trade Brandon Ayuk. Let's say you don't have Trent Williams for a few games, and like the Niners, they've got playmakers on both sides of the ball, but they're also a top heavy team in that, like, if McCaffrey goes down, their offense is shot. If Debo goes down, their offensive shot. If they lose Trent Williams, their offense is shot. Like, if like I don't know, man. I also think their pass rush, like, it's not going to be as good as it was. You know, they lost some guys. They lost Chase Young. They lost, like, they had just like a constant rotation of dudes, and now it's like pretty much just Bosa. That's it. So I was hoping someone else was going to be high on them for the like have a good discussion, but it seems like we're kind of all on the same page.
With how bad Brock Purdy was, I think it's impossible to be high on them. But
Bad
You're
as
not
in
a Brock
he's
Purdy fan.
bad in the playoffs? What do you mean? He was
I
good in
mean,
the he was good in the regular
it
season.
was good in the regular season. But I mean, he didn't look good in the preseason.
He had the best numbers of, like, by far of any quarterback. Now, a lot of that was a
don't
Shanahan
ride
system,
much
but
into the preseason, Austin. I
Yeah.
don't think Debo's even played. I know Kittle hasn't played.
That's true. I just didn't think it looked that good. But I know it's Mr. Irrelevant. You know,
We'll
I don't
see
know.
what they do
Without a
against the
left
Jets.
tackle, you know,
Monday night.
Monday night. I bet the Jets win the game. That's what I'm gonna say. But I was higher on the Jets than anybody else in this pod. So
all right. The Rams, they added guard Jonah Jackson and cornerback Tre'Davious White. They lost Aaron Donald. He retired. Someone wrote in the outline, "Rip Cam Akers," so I guess I'll mention that. He's actually very much alive. He's just, you know, Cam Akers.
not the
And they
Rams.
drafted running back Blake Corum.
Hey.
So my question is more about Stafford, and I'll start with you, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Stafford has one more year of excellence left in him?
Oh yeah. I mean, as long as his pocket stays clean, he's a like quarterback guru. He reads the field like the back of his hand. I got no worries in Stafford as long as he has a clean pocket, not much pressure in his face. Like he just makes the right throws, the right reads. With McVay's his little cheat code, I think he's got at least one more good year, and maybe even
Mhm.
two. Because
Yeah,
he's only like 37. That's not terribly old. for a quarterback these days.
Yeah, so he's 36, but I think for me, he feels older, and he himself probably feels older because of all the injuries.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why you got to keep him clean. That's a major key.
I think those cerebral quarterbacks just have a longer shelf life. And I mean, it's not like he doesn't have weapons either. I mean, you got Cooper Kupp, Puka Nakua, you've got Kyron Williams taking the pressure off the pass game. I think he's definitely got one more
Blake
year
Bortles
of
probably
a
gonna be pretty good.
yeah. It's an above average offense and with an above average quarterback. And yeah, I think he can give you the production that you need to get to the postseason. So this late in the game, you just don't want your old quarterbacks to be a liability, and he's definitely not that. So
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on to your Seahawks, Alex.
Yes,
So
yes,
brought in head coach Mike McDonald.
Mikey Mack.
great hire.
Mike.
They added linebacker Jerome Baker and center Nick Harris. They lost, which is probably an addition by
Connor
subtraction.
Williams, sir. You didn't even add Connor Williams.
That's not an addition.
It is an addition, sir.
As somebody who's watched Connor Williams
You watched him as a guard. You didn't watch
Get
him
ready
as a
to learn
center.
holding penalties, buddy.
Get ready.
He's a center now. I don't call it on the center as much.
All right. I hope you're right. They lost, addition by subtraction, safety Jamal Adams. They also lost linebacker Devin Bush and linebacker Jordan Brooks. And then they drafted defensive tackle
Bobby
Byron
Wagner.
Murphy.
We lost
What's
Bobby
that?
too. We lost Bobby too. He went to
They lost Bobby last season though.
No, he was still with us last season.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he went to the
Yeah,
Commanders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meh.
Yeah.
My question for the Seahawks, I'll also start with Alex because I feel like we need to.
You can start with Alex on this whole division. I'm just letting you know. Save me for the college football
Not a
segment,
big
buddy.
Cardinals fan, huh?
No.
Alex, how are you feeling going into the beginning of the Mike McDonald era?
Man. I'm ecstatic, dude. Like some of the training camp videos I've been seeing, they're like old Legion of Boom vibes. People are just fighting every which way. So many fights, but
DK and
physical. Last weekend we finally saw the first team on offense. They played one series against the Browns, and they looked pretty surgical. I'm not gonna lie. JSN had a couple nice catches. DK had a nice catch in the end zone. Even guys like Jake Bobo looked pretty good. Our third string running back, Kenny McIntosh from Georgia, who was hurt all last year, he had one rush for 59 yards and a touchdown. Like everything just looks great. They've finally sort of invested in the offensive line a little bit more. I think Gino will have more time to pass, which was his big bugaboo last year. I think he had like maybe 2.5 seconds on average to throw the ball, which is just not a recipe for success. You want about 3 seconds. But overall, I think it's going to be an improved team, a better defensive team, which is much needed. I think they were probably dead last in rushing yards given up and pretty close to last in passing yards given up. It was pretty bad. But overall, I got to stop saying overall. But I'm just excited, man. Jittery, ready for the season to start. We have 2 easy games to start the season, too, on paper at least. Broncos, Patriots. 2-0 start, new era. Like, I don't think there's a much better launching point for this season than that matchup. Those 2 matchups right there.
you went from last in the league in passing yards allowed to Legion of Boom pretty quick.
I mean, I think the Pete Carroll era just got stale, and new faces. It's exciting.
The biggest, you can talk about these additions via the draft or whatever, but I'm a believer in the Mike McDonald era. I think
I didn't even mention Aaron Donald 2.0 Byron Murphy, bro. That guy is going to be a monster.
Dog.
At least 10
Honestly,
stacks coming up for him.
I feel like we are not talking enough about the Seahawks. Like I am in on the Seahawks this year. From a fantasy standpoint, I'm in on DK Metcalf, on JSN, on K-Walk, even Gino as like, of maybe top 8 quarterback potentially.
Ooh.
Gino is out for revenge this year. He saw after the Drew Lock game. He saw some of the talk, and he's like, "Oh, okay. You want to see
I just think
something?"
like sometimes with sports nowadays, and I'm more guilty of this than anyone else on the podcast. Like you can get so engrossed in the numbers and in the statistics and analytics and trying to find an edge anywhere you can, right? But sometimes you can just kind of like monkey brain it and just dumb it down. And let's talk like fantasy for a second, or not even fantasy. Let's just talk like Seattle Seahawks offense.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those guys are going to do better because the Seahawks were dead last year in total offensive plays run as a team. In terms of total plays run as a team, they were dead last, 32nd. Tennessee Titans were 31st. Vegas was 30th. Denver was 29th. New England was 28th. And then you look at the teams at the top of plays run, like you had Cleveland at 1, which makes sense because they're defense, right? And then you had Detroit, you had Dallas, Saints with a scrappy defense, and then Buffalo as your top 5. Like you run more plays, your offense is automatically better, right? You're on the field longer and your defense gets better. And I don't have to tell you this, Alex, but like the run defense for the Seahawks last year was abysmal.
Yeah, and just like getting off the field, the run defense, the third down defense it's terrible.
And what's a way that you solve a run defense for a team?
I
Defensive
mean,
tackle.
Defensive, big dudes in the middle.
And who did they draft in the first round?
Big old Byron Murphy from Texas. I'm excited to root for him for once.
Okay.
Because he was a torture watching against OU.
Yeah.
But he is a monster.
They had, in terms of rushing yards per game, they were second worst behind only Arizona. EPA per rush play allowed, they were second worst behind only Carolina. If you look at opposing run plays, they were 4th. Like they're just all the numbers, they were terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm high on them because I think Mike McDonald fixes that defense. And if you fix the defense, the offense automatically gets better.
No doubt. I think my one question mark on them would just be probably the linebackers. I don't really know who the linebacking duo is going to be. Like once they name the stars and stuff, I will. But right now, that is really the only thing that's up in the air, I'd say, for them.
Can't be as bad as Dan Quinn playing safeties at linebacker last year. Y'all be fine.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're there yet. So, but it's probably going to be some young new faces, which is exciting, I guess.
All right. Finally, the Cardinals. So they added defensive tackle Justin Jones, offensive tackle Jonah Williams, and offensive lineman Isaiah Adams. They lost wide receiver Marquise Brown and wide receiver Rondell Moore. And then they drafted wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. and running back Trey Benson. Of note, are you all sleeping on the Cardinals, or do you just think they're not going to be very good?
I am dead asleep.
They're meh. I think I'm excited about. I think Trey Benson's going to be pretty good.
I do too, but
league.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is their number 1 option, and after that, it falls off a freaking cliff, dude. I mean, Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, Trey McBride. Like, I don't know. I just
don't be hating on Dortch.
I don't see it.
Little man Dortch.
Trey McBride's a good tight end. And like that team was
he's not a game changer. Like, I mean,
I think he's good. I think he's a good tight end.
He's good, but I mean, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. and I don't know if we want to say Trey McBride, just Trey McBride. Like, I don't know. Nothing's jumping off the page to me, man.
Yeah, I think Cardinals are just boring.
Oh man, I'm very different.
Are you high on the Cardinals?
These are you like teams that you're gonna fight us on, or it's like the Chargers, and then I mean I wasn't teams that I thought we were going to talk about.
Definitely worse than the Chargers.
The Cardinals were not on that list of teams that I thought we were going to disagree on.
They have Kyler, I guess but like their defense is trash.
It's a good
I guess-
segue into my fantasy
I think-
option.
I think there are so there's 8 divisions, and I think there are 4 teams who of those 8 excuse me, in those 8 divisions who were last placed in their divisions last year, and they have a chance to make playoffs this year. And I think it's Cincinnati, Chicago, the Chargers, and Arizona.
Well, they definitely have more of a chance in the NFC. I mean, it's more wide open there in the wild card at least. So, and last place
I
schedule
just
too.
think people have forgotten how good Kyler Murray is when he's out there.
We do have to play the AFC North though. So last place schedule, but who is that in the AFC North? Like,
Yeah,
that's
they'll
the
play.
Patriots, isn't it?
No, that's it. They're
Wait, no, it's
AFC
the
East.
Oh, jeez.
No, so they'll play if their last place schedule. So they actually do play the Patriots and the Panthers.
Okay, that's pretty favorable.
And the Dolphins.
I think they win both those games.
Well, yeah. So they play the AFC East. Yeah, so they'll
We're
play the
losing the
Bills,
Dolphins.
Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots, and then they get the. Let me see here. Yeah, the last place teams they play would be the Panthers and the Bears. No, because they have the North Division. Never mind. Sorry. Panthers
we
and
play the
Commanders, I
Bears.
think. Yeah, there you go.
We play the Bears.
All right. Fantasy storyline you're interested in?
Yeah, let me just piggyback off of that. I see Kyler Murray being a consistently ranked at like QB7, QB8, like
Really?
fringe top 10. And I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like with the offensive weapons he doesn't have, I feel like that's high. But
They just do that because he can run.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just not sure he can be a top 10 fantasy quarterback this year. But then again, Andrew probably thinks he's going to be top 5, given his opinion on the Cardinals.
Honestly,
So-
sort of agree with you. I don't know how much Kyler has left in the tank. I don't know if he could run like he can.
Oh,
I mean, he's not old. I'm not
He's gonna.
saying
I
that.
think he needs to be a little skittish. Like,
He's
how many more hits can that
27.
little body take?
27, like, yeah, no, he's fine from a health standpoint. I just think from a weapon standpoint, the weapon, like
him and I are like the same age. He is not that old. Okay, he is a spring chicken.
You guys actually were in the same graduating class,
We were.
Yeah,
I think.
we were.
2015.
Tell you what, he wouldn't have won 4 straight state titles if I was playing football and I was matched up against him. Ain't no way. You should be able to throw a football a quarter mile.
That dude was insane to watch in high school.
Yeah.
With the stats were. Yeah, it's just like I see, in redraft, he's fringe top 10. Anywhere from I've seen him as high as 4, but I've seen him as low as
Okay, yeah, that's way
11
too
or
high.
12. Yeah, I just
I
don't
think fringe top 10 just because he's a dual threat is fine.
I think he's gonna
He's got
land
Marvin
somewhere
Harrison
between.
Jr.
Yeah, but that's it, dude. 'cause
1,200 yards, 10, 15 touchdowns. I mean,
rookie, double teamed. Yeah,
Trey McBride, 800 yards, a couple TDs.
yeah, he's fine. But
Trey Benson, 400 yards out of the backfield.
All right,
Branson's got to beat out James Conner first. But
Let's
I agree.
keep it moving because we still have our whole college football segment to do.
2-hour pod. Let's do it.
Alex, your fantasy storyline. We can run through these kind of quickly.
Folks, go now and buy all the JSN stock you can. I think he's going off in like the 70s and 80s in redrafts and dynasty, or not redrafts, but like when you're starting a dynasty draft, like just any draft, 70 or 80 range, he might still be there. I buy now because I think we're gonna slowly be moving away from Tyler Lockett as he gets older. He's probably only going to be like a 700 to 800 yard receiver, and I think JSN is going to move into that solid number 2/1B option. I'm expecting 1,200-ish yards and like close to 10 to 12 touchdowns. I think he's going to be a major force in
10 to 12. Wow.
the offense. I mean, it was only one drive, but it was the only drive we got to see all the starters last Saturday, and he was just a focal point in that drive. Two receptions, 39 yards, one really nice out route to the sideline. He's just really good at those tight space catches. He has really, really, really soft hands. It's by now.
I completely agree with you. I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but it's worth mentioning again that there are these certain athletes who they're like they've been good at every level. And like, I always think like it's worth noting, like, go look at their high school stats. And if they just were absolutely bonkers, like Derrick Henry's always the go-to example, right? Where he was just a beast in high school and he's been a beast in the NFL. Jackson Smith and Jigba, his final 2 years of high school, he had 4,000 receiving yards and 54 receiving touchdowns.
That's crazy.
54 receiving touchdowns.
1,000 receiving yards in a season. They only play 12 games.
That's insane.
What? Like,
And that's
10
with
games.
he also had 10 rushing touchdowns. So he had 64 touchdowns in 2 seasons, his final 2 years. I'm all in on JSN. I'm targeting him as well. I couldn't agree with this more. My fantasy storyline is I'm just curious who's going to be wide receiver 1 in LA between Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, because they're like the same player. They use him in the same ways. And we didn't really get to see a lot of both of them on the field at the same time because Kupp was battling injuries throughout most of last season. And obviously Puka broke the rookie receiving record. So he had quite the year. But that's something I'm curious about. You know, Puka is going much higher than Kupp in drafts. But I kind of think Kupp is the safer bet.
Agreed.
So if you're looking for like mismatch value in fantasy,
I think I'm going to zigzag. I'm on Puka's side. Sophomore ascent, not slump.
sophomore slump, maybe?
No, ascension.
Slump?
Even more. He's going to Mars. He's already been to moon.
So ascension means you go up, Andrew, just so you know.
Slump. Got it. Okay. And then favorite futures bet. So this one, so it's a strategy here and it's a 2-parter. Okay. Here's what you got to do.
Here's the
All of
odds
us-
that we've been waiting for.
All of us are down on the Niners, right?
Right.
I don't think the Niners are going to win the division.
Me neither.
So what you do is you go and whatever your tax bracket is, whatever your level of gambling is, you bet
$100.
2 units on the Niners to finish second in the division, and it's plus 200. Okay. And then you turn around and you bet 1 unit on the Niners to finish third in the division at plus 1,000, 10-1 odds. So let's use just simple $100 math here, right? You bet $200 for them to win second or to come in second, and that's $400 in your pocket. Then you go and you bet $100 on them to get third, and that's $1,000. So even if they get second, you're still, what is that, plus 150 on your money, something like that. You're still up, $300 on your $200 investment. So that's what I like. I don't think they're going to get first. I don't think they're going to get last in this division. So hedge your bets there, and you'll come out on top. What do you think, Austin?
That was fun. I like that.
Yeah,
Good
cool.
bet. Good bet, Andrew.
Thank you. Austin, what you got?
I shifted once Alex started gushing about the Seahawks, and I took DK 10 plus touchdowns plus 300. He's going to have more time to throw the ball. So let's do it.
I think he had like 12 last year, so it's not bad.
He had 8 last year.
Well, shoot.
Split the difference. 10. There you go.
Yep, there it is. 10 plus. Book it.
He's done that twice in his career.
And this is apparently the best Seahawks team we've seen in the past couple of years. So I'm all in. More plays, more positions. Let's go.
Yeah. Alex.
Mine's pretty much the same as yours, but it's just exact order. I went Seattle finishes first in the division. Rams finish second, plus 1,700. High on the Rams this year.
Dang. I had arguably the lowest odds of anybody.
Wow.
Man.
What a square.
I'm such a scrub. Oh, my goodness.
All right. Team tiers.
Seattle
So who we
Seahawks,
starting
second
first?
coming.
No, I'm just going to put Seattle as the division. If we're starting there, division contenders.
Can we put division contenders for the Seahawks and the Rams?
think so.
Yeah.
It's not good. No one's going to run away with this division.
For the 49ers, I'm going to
49ers,
put
pretty disappointing.
Super Bowl hangover, but
Yep.
they didn't win but they didn't win.
Super Bowl hangover Bills style. Just
I
put
wanted Purdy disappointing.
I like that Bill style. Okay.
I thought my dad
like
joke was good.
What'd you say?
I said pretty disappointing.
There we go.
Like pretty disappointing.
So
pretty-
many.
All right. We'll do that one.
That was my dad joke.
Apparently, you had to repeat it 3 times and explain it. Must have been a really good one.
Andrew has
those
mistyped
are usually the
disappointing
best jokes.
4 times.
You got to explain it. It's really good.
And then Cardinals. I'm gonna put Frisky.
Yeah. I agree.
Because even if you think they're not going to be very good, they're not
Their
going to be
coach
an
is
easy
Frisky.
win.
The opposite of frisky is boring, and Alex called them
they're not.
boring.
Well, Kyler Murray, they're not boring. I'll still tune in.
They're tiny.
Yeah. All right. Prediction for the division order.
Yeah, that little meme. That meme's awesome. Little head.
Prediction for the division order. Who do we have first?
Seahawks, baby.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put the Seahawks, and then
All right.
Let's
I'm
go
going to
ahead
say
and
the
put the
Rams,
too.
but we'll do the Seahawks because I'm outvoted. And then Rams, and then Niners.
I actually think the Niners are going to get second, but
yeah,
But-
I'll vote Rams too for second, just
Okay.
because of my bet.
Niners, and then Cardinals.
I think so, sir.
Okay. College football. It's here.
let's freaking do it.
And we've got a really fun way to kind of talk about a bunch of the top teams and get us ready for the season as a whole.
Yes,
So
please.
we're going to be drafting 5 teams each to make the college football playoff. And you might be thinking, well, wait a second. There's 3 of us, 3 times 5. You carry the 1. That's
Who's going
15.
first?
Oh, who is going first?
You got to shuffle
Yes.
it. Or wait, no, who won though? What was the last thing we did?
Oh gosh, I'm not going to go and find that. I'm not sure.
Random
Let's,
number generator.
Who won the Euros 20? Who placement in the Euros 2016 prediction?
Here, how about this?
Oh.
Okay, I've got
2024.
I've got both my
I was
hands
Spain all the
behind
way,
my
baby.
back. I got both my hands behind my back, and I'm holding up a number from 1 to 10.
So you're not going
And-
first.
So you're not going first? Because I wanted to go at the turn. But
Yeah,
whatever.
how are you in this if you're holding numbers?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay,
Random generator. Come on.
99.
all right.
While we're at this, week
I am-
1.
Super high on Ohio State.
OU's got $20 million shopping spree this past offseason.
I might ride Ohio State like I rode Spain this summer.
Okay. All right. I got it ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to draft 5 teams each for the 12-team playoff. But there's a twist. So we're taking betting odds into consideration with the goal of winning the most money whenever the bracket is announced. And so we're going to assume that we bet $10 on each of our picks. And so it's, you kind of have to weigh the odds for each one, right? Like you could take Georgia, or I'm sorry, you could take Ohio State at minus 650. You bet $10, you're only getting $6.50 back. Whereas if you want to get really crazy, you could bet
You're actually only getting $4.50 back. Minus $6.50 for every dollar you put in. So you put in 10, you'd only trust me, I'm right here.
wait,
Plus minus six. If you're getting back $6.40,
You
that'd be like
put
minus
in-
$4.50.
no,
No.
Yeah.
you're wrong on this.
No.
No,
no.
think about it, because it's for $100. So if
Baptist
you're betting,
preacher says you're wrong.
if you bet $100, it's to win 65.
Sorry,
Right?
guys.
This
You
is
okay?
the host of
Anyways,
NBC
this is why
Bets.
Ohio State's going to win the national
You
championship.
can tune in Friday to hear Alex get all the odds wrong on his podcast.
Will Howard, baby.
So that's what we're gonna do. I've got the order here set. How many times do you want me to randomize it?
One time.
Once, yeah,
Just
once.
one time? Okay. All right. The order is Alex, Austin, Andrew, and we'll snake draft, okay?
Oh, man.
All right.
Do I want to go chalk or do I want to first pick just be spicy with them? This is tough. Nah.
Who's your 1-1?
Hold on, it's loading. trying to get all the odds up.
Okay.
Come on, FanDuel.
Do I want to get spicy odds or do I want to? I don't know what I wanted to do here.
See, this is the
See,
fun
that's
thing. It's like you got to take some wins, but you also got to have some risk out there.
This
and
is
Okay,
while you're
And-
pulling the odds
Good.
up,
I
good
got mine.
segment, Andrew. This is spicy. I like
I'm
it.
going Miami. Plus 170. I think they have an easier schedule. They got a new quarterback. Austin, remind me of his name. I know he was highly touted in the transfer.
Oh,
portal.
crud! I don't.
He's a
remember
dual
his-
threat
For
He's
Miami.
He's a weapon. Like he's a weapon on NCAA 25. He won the Heisman in like my first dynasty season. But yeah, I'm going Miami plus 170. I like the odds. They
I
play
like
an
it.
ACC schedule. It shouldn't be too hard. Like they play Florida this
Cam
opening
Ward.
weekend.
That's his name.
Cam
Yeah.
Ward, yeah.
They have one of the good games this weekend. They play Florida. Florida's not going to be that good anyways, but it should be a fun game to watch.
I'm higher on Florida than most
You'll get
people.
to preview Cam Ward and preview Miami on prime time. So go ahead and watch that game and see why Miami is my pick. Plus
And
one.
they got Cristobal as a head coach.
Cristobal, yeah.
They were
Hopefully
such
he
a
doesn't-
spicy
Hopefully
team
he's
last
fixed
year.
his game management at the end of fourth quarters, though.
That was bad.
That was
That was so bad,
shout out Georgia Tech.
man. All right. See, my pick. I'm going plus 170 odds too because I think Clemson's going to win the division.
Oh,
Or not the division. I think
Clemson.
Clemson's going to win the conference.
Wow.
Clemson's the only team who didn't add a single player from the transfer portal this year.
It was only them and like the service academies, right?
Oh yeah, that doesn't. they're
Yeah.
not looking
Transfer
for
to Army.
transfers.
Yeah.
Only the best.
Stolen Valor by Dabo.
Stolen.
Only the best for Clemson and the service academies.
So you're
You know-
taking Clemson at plus 170.
Yeah, I'm taking Clemson.
They're
you
playing
know.
Georgia this week. Are you taking
are.
Clemson then too?
No, probably not. But I think the ACC's weak, and I think Clemson's going to be better. You know, their offensive coordinators in his second year. I like it. I like Clemson this year.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm so glad that I'm at the turn here because I'm just going to do a little hedge, but I also think both of these teams could make it. And we're going Utah at plus 190. And then we're going Kansas State at plus 280.
Oh dang it!
I think these are the two favorites to win the Big 12. And let's go ahead and refresh everyone if they forgot how the 12 team bracket works. So the top 5 conference champions automatically make it. The top 4 conference champions get the first 4 seeds. They get the buys.
So
And
the
then
top 5, the 5th one is the group of 5 at large,
Yeah,
or not at large.
Yeah,
group of
yeah,
5.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, there's only like now of like the Power Fives, like the Pac-12's done. So it's basically the Big 12, the ACC, the SEC, and the Big 10. So likely your top 4 seeds are going to be SEC, Big 10 in some order, 1, 2,
Right.
and then ACC,
And then
Big
your
12.
group of 5 conference champion is going to be.
So, but the Big 12 conference champion is making the playoffs pretty much no matter what.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Utah and Kansas State. You get plus odds on both of them. I think, I don't know, man. Utah is one of those teams that they're always good. And especially
Cam Rising back.
Cam Rising, like they're just a hard team to play. Like they're a hard team to,
Oh yeah,
beat.
Utah at night. Good luck.
Yeah.
Utah Knight's insane.
yeah. And Kansas State's always fun. So I
Avery
think
Johnson is electric. That
Mhm.
dude is gonna be fun to watch.
he is. And I obviously you both are now SEC guys. I'm
What's
still
up,
over
Austin?
here in the basketball
up?
conference of the Big 12, but I think from a
You
football
guys getting
standpoint,
UConn?
we might.
I think it's gonna
Um,
happen.
I think from a football standpoint, the Big 12 is still going to be very, very fun this year.
No doubt.
So
Plenty of
I'm-
points, plenty of overs. Like
Yeah.
perfect.
So I like both of these two teams, and I do think there is a world where both of these teams make the playoffs. So I'll take those 2, and then that brings it back to Austin for your second pick.
Sheesh. All right. I went a little out there with Clemson. I'm going to take the $20 million shopping spree. I need the sure thing at this point. I'm taking Ohio State, Big 10 champion, top 4 seed, maybe the top 1 seed.
Yeah,
Am I
they
at
don't.
650?
They don't win the Big Ten. It's almost.
It's a failure.
Yeah, Ryan Day is gone.
Ryan Day
They're-
is finished. Yeah.
On paper, they're far and away the best team.
There
in
is
that
no
league.
coach in college football with more pressure on them than Ryan Day this season.
I love that they brought in Will Howard too. I think that's the perfect college football, like essential veteran quarterback. Like he knows the system. He's never had these type of weapons either. Like the only weapon he's ever had is Deuce Vaughn, which
They brought
shout out to
in
Deuce Vaughn. He was elite with Kansas State, but he's
former
still
Texas
5'6".
A&M athletic director Ross Bjork, who with the Jimbo debacle, but whatever. But he's a good AD. But yeah, Ohio State, they're in.
All right.
Alex.
I love my next pick. I'm going mid-major, Memphis plus 500.
Oh,
Let me make you the pitch. Memphis is still in the AAC, so they have a relatively cake schedule. But week 3, they're going to Florida State. If they win that game, I don't see how they don't finish 12-0. Like after Florida State, I think their hardest game is right after that at Navy. And maybe UAB or Tulane might be frisky at the end of the season. But overall, I think they're maybe a 1-loss, 2-loss team max, which isn't great. Like they're not making it if they're a 2-loss team, but 11-1, 12-0, they'll be right there on the fringe. Like 15 is the cutoff, right? Or no, it's 12. So 12 is the cutoff.
12, yeah.
But one mid-major team has to make it, and I like Memphis's shot.
All right.
Plus
All right, so
500.
you get 2 picks here. What's your next pick?
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, we're snaking, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna go back up then. I'll probably go a little bit more chalky. Give me Oregon. Dylan Gabriel gets it done with is it Dan Lanning? Yeah. Okay. For some reason I thought that was wrong, but yeah. Dylan Gabriel, Dan Lanning, they finally beat Washington this year. They finally get over that hump.
They got
They're
Evan
also
Stewart.
playing Ohio State, which is probably going to be one of the games of the year coming down the stretch, but I think they put it all together. They're going to be at least in the playoff this year, Oregon.
I'm stupid high on Oregon this year. I think they finally put all the pieces together. And
yeah, DG is an absolute baller. He's probably going to break Case Keenum's passing or career passing yard record for college football as the most passing yards ever, which is sort of insane to think about.
That's how you break the passing yards record?
Like that's going to be
passing yards ever?
That's going to be a fun little trivia question in 20 years. Like, who is the all-time leading passing yards for the NCAA? Oh, Dylan Gabriel. What?
Arch Manning. What? I'm just kidding.
He's not going to play that long.
Nah.
All right, so you're taking Oregon at minus 300, or I'm sorry, minus, is it 330?
330.
Yeah, 330. So that is over to Austin now for your third pick.
I am taking the surprise of last season plus 180. Give me the Missouri Tigers with the cupcake schedule
Wow.
outside of Alabama at 5. They play A&M, they play Alabama, and they play Oklahoma, and those are their only ranked games.
Well, they're losing to Oklahoma
all season. They have Nick Saban said a couple days ago, they said they have the easiest path to the SEC championship game.
That is a fact.
And I think that's really correct. I'm picking them because of ease of schedule. They were steady last season, and I think that they can make the college football playoff. So
they did lose their best receiver, though.
They did.
He's got a great voice, too. Gonna miss that in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, they went.
Who's their quarterback too? Like I know he's returning. I just can't remember his name.
For Mizzou?
Yeah, he
Brady
was there
Cook.
last year.
Brady Cook.
There it is.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he was all right. I mean, they got Theo East now. I think he's their number 1 receiver. He was at OU for a while, like 6-7 years senior now.
I'm banking on the ease of schedule for them.
They definitely have the easiest schedule in the SEC.
They didn't get worse. So I was like, plus odds on those guys. Yeah, sure, they'll get in.
Okay. So I got 2 picks now. So you got Missouri at plus 180. I will take let's go Penn State at minus 145. I don't know. You start to kind of map it out, and it's like how many teams from the Big Ten and the SEC are making the college football playoff?
Almost all of them.
4 from each.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think the SEC's probably got 3 in them with probably a fourth one around 11 or 12.
Yeah. So I'll go Penn State.
10 or 11 because group of 5 is going to get 12. But
Because here's the thing with Penn State is they rack up wins and then they go lose to Ohio State or Michigan when Harbaugh was there. Now they could beat Michigan, and could they be a 2-loss team? Absolutely. And I think if you're a 2-loss Big Ten team, you're making the playoff. So I like them at minus 145. And then let me see if I can find some plus odds here. Oh man. I'll do Alabama. I know it's first year post Saban, but I'll do Alabama. They're not plus, but they're minus 105. So for the sake of this, we'll say they're even money. And so they're minus 105 to make the playoffs. And I know they don't have Saban anymore.
Kalen DeBoer is a great coach.
Kalen DeBoer is a good coach. And, you know, I feel like this offense now, like they don't have the receiving core that they had like in years past when they just had like Devonta Smith and, you know, they had guys kind of out the wazoo, but they're going to like air it out more than they did in the last few years. And Milroe, like that is his strength, is the deep ball. So give me basically even money on Alabama to get to the playoffs, and I like that. So I'll go with
You guys
them.
remember when we railed on Jalen Milroe like early last season, and then he came back and he freaking destroyed it after getting benched for one game?
Yep.
I want to say I wasn't on that camp.
I was in that camp. We were calling him Jalen Midrow. Like
That dude, by the way, cheat code in NCAA 2025. Good luck
oh,
trying to tackle him.
dude, it was awesome.
But yeah, I agree. Kalen DeBoer with him, he's a QB guru, sort of. I think he's gonna unlock some stuff with Milroe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So it's back to Austin.
Did you
Are
do
you
2
sure?
picks? Oh yeah.
I did. I
Yeah.
did Penn State and Alabama.
All right, guys, it's time.
I feel like I have
Oh man.
no.
It's time.
Let him do it. Let him do it.
Plus
I'm not doing
240.
See our schedule, we're not making it.
I think that A&M's a 2-loss team this year. I'm drinking the Mike
That means they're going to be a
Elko,
4-loss team.
Who do you
The
guys
Mike-
open up with?
Notre Dame,
Oh, that's right.
and it's going to be
Oh.
the state. It's going to be the statement right off the bat, dude. Everything that I'm hearing out of. the
I think
spring
I'll
with
root
these
for
guys.
A&M over Notre Dame.
You should.
I think I
Can't
will.
root for the Irish,
I'll
man.
root for a tie.
The Elko Kool-Aid. The
I'll root for a good
defense.
game, at
The
least.
defense is going to be solid. The biggest question is the offensive line. Connor Wegman, a fringe Heisman Trophy candidate, if he can stay healthy.
Where have I heard that
Connor
before?
Wegman even better than Haynes King, dude.
Yes, dude. Before he went down last year, his stats were amazing. I'm drinking the
it's
Elko
true. He
Kool-Aid.
was only healthy for like 3 games, right?
3 games, yeah.
Yeah.
Colin Klein coming in, calling plays after, resurrecting Kansas State's offense. It's going to be the Elko season. Because a disciplined Aggie program is something that we haven't seen in
Ever?
years.
Not
Since
since like the Clinton administration.
maybe. I'm 2 losses. I think, the restart of the Lone Star Showdown, opening up with Lone Star or opening up with Notre Dame, the ability to book in the season with those 2 games. It's really not that hard in the middle. You've got Missouri and you've got LSU, but you've got 8 unranked opponents currently. So it's not, if you win half of your ranked games, I think a 10-2 SEC team gets in. So Elko was the guy. The day Jimbo got fired, I texted my family and I said, if we don't get Elko, I'm going to be pissed. And we went and got him, and I'm so excited. So
Wow.
let me have my moment.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
I get it.
So
I get
you
it.
remember like, was it 2 years ago or was it last year when we started 5? It was last year. We started ranked 5th, and I was like, we're going to go win the national championship. I'm not saying that, but in a 12-team playoff with a drastically improved Aggie team, coaching wise and roster wise, honestly,
Where are you guys ranked right now?
20th.
I think you guys should be ahead of OU. That seems wrong.
See, I'm higher on OU too than their ranking. So
I got to see Arnold not turn the ball over. He's still.
yeah.
It was one game, but
I had to take my value pick 4 because I'm going chalk 5. So
Okay.
this pick is going to surprise a lot of people, gentlemen.
Texas.
But this, no, it's close.
Georgia is still on the board.
That's cool. No, I'm going value. I'm going respect to the bet. Give me Oklahoma State plus 700.
Dude,
Oh,
I like
man.
that pick. I
Best
like it.
running back in the league. They have Alan Bowman coming back, 6th-year senior. So no, like,
Ollie Gordon's
non-
going to drive that offense, bro.
yeah,
To
he
the
is. And
left, to the right.
he's got a perfect
left.
elite bus driver. in
He's gonna
Alan
be
Bowman,
he's gonna be
who can
swerving
have an elite
everywhere.
game every once in a while.
He's not
Gundy's
getting
never
my
had a
joke.
good defense, but they're going to outscore a lot of people. Classic
not-
Big 12 play.
He's not getting my joke.
I've honestly talked over your joke. I'm not going to lie.
Driving the offense to the left, to the right, to the left. To the drunk driving rest. Come on, dang.
You
Okay.
should have said swerving or like.
And then I did say swerving later.
You just said to the left and the right. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
But I think they're that classic Big 12 team. They're probably going to average close to 42 points a game. Not going to have an elite defense, but they're going to be in every game. I don't think they're going undefeated, but 11-1 going into the Big 12 championship and conference championship weekend. Anything can happen. And plus 700, love those odds.
Okay. So you get your final pick. What's your final pick?
All right, give me Georgia then. We'll go chalk. Last pick. I've taken my long shots. Give me the best quarterback in the league, Carson Beck. Probably going to be the number 1 quarterback off the board. Like Kirby Smart. As long as we don't have any traffic violations, the sky's the limit.
All right.
Dang it.
Austin, your
only
final
chalk-
pick.
The only chalk pick left I can't take.
Michigan, I guess.
Nah, give me LSU.
Go Tigers.
I don't
Go
trust their
Tigers.
defense, and they have a heck of a schedule.
I don't either, but I'm not picking Texas. So give me LSU.
There you go, or Andrew. Texas is all yours.
I couldn't do it.
Quinn Ewers.
You should pick them.
They're gonna beat Michigan week 2. That's gonna happen.
LSU does not have that bad of a schedule.
Yeah, but it's more
All
than
right,
defense.
my first pick. So Alex picked.
This is your last pick.
Oh, it is
Did
my
you
last
not
pick.
record our
Oh
pick?
shoot!
Did you?
Yeah, my
you
last
didn't
pick.
record
No, I did. I did.
Okay. Sorry.
So do I go chalk? Because
You pick
here's my
OU.
no.
Surprise
Here's my
everybody.
thinking is like we've only picked one like mid-major team, and it was Memphis, and I kind of want to
Titans.
hedge against that and pick like Liberty.
You got to pick the group of 5 champion. That's what you should do.
Pick Liberty, James Madison plus.
I forgot about that.
2,500.
Liberty's going to be the team.
Nebraska.
You should pick Liberty.
I'll
Dakota
go with
Johnson.
Liberty. They're at plus 440.
It's going to be Liberty or Boise.
And I think, so what's his name? Chadwell, the coach there. Last year was his first season. They went like 13-1. And I think they brought a lot of the same guys back. They've got a good kind of rushing attack with Cooley and Salter. So
You got the dog and Salter, man.
So I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Liberty as kind of the mid-major team. So to summarize, Alex has got Miami at plus 170, Memphis at plus 500, Oregon at minus 330, Oklahoma State at plus 700, and Georgia at minus 600. And then Austin's got Clemson at plus 170, Ohio State at minus 650, Missouri at plus 180, Texas A&M at plus 240, and LSU at plus 125. And then I've got Utah at plus 190, Kansas State at plus 280, Penn State at minus 145, Bama at minus 105, and Liberty at plus 440. So
This was fun. That was
I like
way-
this.
I'm
that was
ready
a
for
way-
week 1 to start now.
me too, man.
It's
Are
gonna
we-
be so fun.
Are we doing any other? Can we do other topics? What are we doing?
What else you got?
Who's Baylor got week 1?
We got Temple Friday night.
Baylor has
We got Notre Dame Saturday night. Riley Leonard transfer.
I'm Tarleton
so hyped
State.
that we have a Friday night game.
Oh, y'all are
We're
gonna
gonna have to
crush
wait.
Charlton. So, what's the spread
we
on that
get
game?
we go on the road to Utah in week 2.
Ooh.
Let's
What's
do a
the
little-
spread for y'all versus Tarleton?
Do you even know your starting quarterback?
He's a guy. Hold on.
I think he had a.
Now here's
I
the
know
guy.
one of the Baylor quarterbacks had a good showing at the Elite 11 camp this summer. I don't know
I
if
would
he's
take
starting.
Daquan Finn is our quarterback.
I'll take Tarleton plus 26.5.
Here's the thing with Baylor. Okay, can we do like a Baylor
I mean,
minute?
Texas State did upset him last
We'll
year
do
in the first week.
Baylor minute. Let's
Can
go.
we do a Baylor minute? They were
Sick.
terrible last year. They were 3-9, I think. They have really fallen off from when Aranda comes in and they win the Big 12. What was that, 3 years ago?
Yep.
They, from a
Aranda's
football
still the
standpoint,
coach?
I think he's on the hot seat.
You got cupcake schedule.
Schedule is pretty easy. Here's the thing: even if this year, I think the goal is get to a bowl game. But with the Aranda tenure up to this point, they have not taken NIL seriously as a football program. And this offseason, they finally decided, hey, we need to actually do something and we need to pour money into this. And you go look at some of the recruits they've been bringing in, they're doing something. They're actually putting together decent recruiting classes. So this year goal is to get a bowl game, but I think next year you're going to see them a little bit better, and it's all about kind of seeing that improvement as we get these guys in the building. So that's your Baylor minute.
I think y'all are a 6-win team. Looking at your schedule, 6 or 7 win. I don't think y'all are going to do worse than 6. Y'all might get 8. But I think 6
If we
or
get a
7's
bowl
the
game,
way.
then I consider it a success.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Week 1. Let's see. What are some of the big games that we're excited for? Austin, how you feel about the Notre Dame matchup for your Aggies?
I think we match up well. I'm out on Notre Dame, but I'm always out on Notre Dame.
You're always out on Notre Dame.
I just think the energy. Yeah, I just can't stand them. I really, it's this week. It's less so out on Notre Dame, more so in on the Elko era and Texas A&M. And, you just the discipline coming out of camp, the comments that you hear on the radio. Granted, they're Homer comments, but still, I think it's going to be a shocker game. It's in Kyle, so fans are going to be hyped. Fans are so hyped for this team, and it's going to be a tough place to play. And so, yeah, I think they win by 2 touchdowns. That's just my call. But
all right, USC LSU Sunday night. That should be a fun game.
LSU is favored at
Shootout.
4.5.
Shootout for sure.
Over under
Moss.
64.5.
Yeah, I think
I think
LSU.
USC wins that game.
Nah, I think LSU wins that game.
No, LSU. I still don't trust LSU's defense. Worse in the country last year. Miller Moss is a good quarterback. He had a decent bowl game, full year or full offseason program, yada yada yada. Until LSU shows me that they have competent corners, I think Miller Moss is going to pick them apart.
Which is ironic because he used to be Corner University. So I'm pumped for Miami, Florida in the swamp.
Yeah, but I don't think Florida's that good. I think Miami's going to sort of dog walk them.
Florida was so good at home last year.
It might be
Miami's
good
only
for a
2.5
half,
point favorite.
but I just feel like Miami's going to outlast them, and then they're eventually going to pull away in the second half.
Yeah. Also, we got to talk about Clemson, Georgia. Obviously, I think Georgia wins the game. They're favored by 13.5. I think Clemson actually covers that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm more interested to see if Clemson can make that a game for 4 quarters because
Yeah.
I know Clemson, they have a good defense. It's really the question of Cade Klubnik and their offense and who's going to be the
You
wide
look at-
receivers to step up, stuff like that. And against Georgia, that's just not a great recipe.
Georgia
Try and test out
last
your new wide
year.
receivers.
Last year, Georgia was close in almost every single game in the first half, and then they blew them out in the second half.
Yeah,
so-
I remember for half a second I thought Spencer Rattler and South Carolina was going to beat them. They were like up 21-7.
Yeah, and then they blew them out. So,
Yeah, they didn't score again.
Yeah. So yeah, that's intriguing. A couple of good week 1 matchups. Just excited that we get some decent teams on like Thursday night, and then we got Oklahoma Friday, and then the Saturday slate's pretty good.
Yeah. On that note, I can give you my Oklahoma minute, I guess, because I haven't really actually talked about the Sooners.
Go ahead.
Man, I really gotta see Jackson Arnold. I know he's a 5-star touted great quarterback prospect, but I'm just a little concerned on the turnover bug with him.
Well, it was one game, right?
It's one game, but he is a gunslinger. He's gonna take risks, obviously, and really it's more our schedule because here's how it's laid out. We have a pretty easy non-conference: Temple, Houston, Tulane, which Tulane is frisky. They're a pretty good
Last year they were super frisky.
or non-Power 5 team or whatever. But then after that, it's welcome to the SEC. You got Tennessee, at Auburn, Texas, which we're used to Texas, but South Carolina, at Ole Miss, Maine, that's fun, at Missouri, and then boom, second to last game of the season at home against Alabama, and then boom to end the season
Go to Death
at
Valley.
LSU in Death Valley. That is an absolute gauntlet, and if we can go 9-3, I'll be more than happy with that. Anything after that, I think, is cherry on top for the first year with Jackson Arnold, and they brought in some transfer Deion Burks. We were talking about Hollywood Brown way earlier in the podcast. I think he's a burner. He's going to be in our slot, and just watching him in the spring game, he was an absolute dog. I think he's going to be a great receiver for us. But
y'all's defense has gotten better. With
our
Venables.
defense is probably going to be more of our strength than our offense because our offense is really young, but our defense is more. They're older now. They were pretty young last year, but Danny Stutzman leading up the middle. He's going to be. I guess we haven't even talked about this, but we have green dot players now in college football. We have mics in the helmets finally. We have one on defense and one on offense, which is going to be a cool little wrinkle to the game.
Yeah.
Up until 15 seconds, they can talk to him, and then it's off.
And they have the green dot, so that's how
Let's talk about the 2-minute warning too. That's going to be kind of weird. Clock doesn't.
I really don't think it's that weird. I mean, it just gets them ready for the pro game. I like the 2-minute warning for strategy, and it slows the game down a bit because the running clock
the
and
games
stuff.
Not be 4 hours long, then I'm for it.
Yeah. Well, the clock doesn't stop inside of 2 minutes for first downs anymore.
The thing that makes the games 4 hours is just the commercials, and they have to go to break.
Well, and it's the
every time
45 minutes for the halftime show because of all the bands have to perform.
Oh, the freaking bands!
It's the first down.
That's the one gripe I have about NCAA 25 too. The drum solo is cool and all, the drum line, but why don't we have all the marching band songs going in rotation like the old game? That's one gripe.
See, my big gripe for NCAA 25 is I was playing the other day and it was one of the most unrealistic things I've ever encountered in a video game. I was Texas A&M playing against Texas,
and you won.
And it was in College Station.
I mean, they haven't.
Oh no, sorry. It wasn't A&M versus Texas. It was OU versus Texas, and it was in Austin.
When are we going to play Austin? Next year?
Why would those teams ever not play in the Cotton Bowl? Why would they play in Austin?
Wait,
no sense.
You said Texas A&M though? Didn't you?
No, I got it wrong. It was OU and Texas.
Did you have it set?
Yeah, you must have.
No, what it was is I was doing the dynasty, or the ultimate team, and I was doing one of the challenges, and I was playing as that's whoever.
Stupid.
But yeah,
say what, my quarterback road to glory, man. I'm freaking Nick Mullins. I'm throwing bombs. I throw 5 touchdowns a game, and I throw 5 picks.
Dude, I know the linebackers are so good at like.
I don't know why. I've but my
Got the
freaking
ball.
slants over the middle, and dude, I don't know. The O lines are so trash, dude. I got no time to throw the ball.
Do you know how to do the max protect?
Yeah.
I haven't done it. I need to.
Oh, it's game changer. It's LB and then up on the stick.
What's
And you
LB?
Brings
make sure
in the tight end.
Make sure, yep. Game changer.
What is LB? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I know.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it there. That'll do it for this week's episode of Making the Call.
2-hour podcast.
Do you want for the dad joke, do you want like kind of just a nice simple dad joke or something that is like a little more, well, not PG-13, but we'll say PG?
I guess PG, yeah. Let's get
PG
edgy.
to you is probably like G to Alex. So
Let's
let's
get
see.
edgy.
All right. The doctor told me my prostate was good. I was deeply touched.
Okay. That's not bad.
That was a good one. I like
Yeah.
that one.
You want the G1 for old time's sake?
I feel like you should end it on the prostate one, but now I want to hear the G one.
All right.
Yeah.
Today I found a book with the title "How to Solve 50% of Life's Problems," so I bought 2.
That's
That's a good one.
a good one.
Math.
All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of Making the Call. Alex and Rosie will be back with you Friday night.
Well,
they'll be
actually,
live-
we'll be dropping that Thursday night because OU plays at 6:00 Friday.
Thursday night. We'll get a Making the Call
So
bets
yeah, it'll be there
episode.
Friday morning, ready for your college football Saturdays and Sundays this week too.
They'll also be live on YouTube when they're recording that. So hop in the YouTube chat, ask any questions, throw any bets or parlays that you've got live on the show, and they'll interact with you that way. But yeah, if you just wait for the podcast, it'll be out first thing Friday morning. Enjoy week 1 of the college football season. We will be back next week with a big kind of NFL season preview, picking playoff teams, all that fun stuff. So getting us ready for the NFL season and just under 2 weeks from now. So I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your week. We will see you next time.
We should pick the MVP